there's a need to just trust yourself. You want to pretend to be a wolf today, you be a wolf. And do you, by trusting your own instincts and following them. We don't care what other people think. Not in a way where we're antisocial, but we understand that each of us has that need and that it's a give and take at any given time. But it's our job always to know that we are safe, know that we are always protected, and that we have this arsenal within us of healing and protection. We can go anywhere. Hello, welcome back. We are continuing diving through each of the degrees of the zodiac, 2 at a time. Today we're on Pisces, Virgo 2. Thank you so much for being here. We're looking at insight, symbolism, psychological profiles, the storylines of each of the degrees of the zodiac. And if you're new here, thank you so much for joining me, for joining us. This is part of a long series. I'll leave a link in the description for the first. Gives a little bit of an intro to what this is all about, but basically if you want to know more in-depth information about a specific degree in the zodiac, this is where we talk about it. Let's get into Virgo 2. A large white cross dominating the landscape stands alone on top of a hill. A table on which many healings have been performed. A man hanging upside down from a tree. In a sacred cave, a lingam of ice. Children tasting many different kinds of fruit, which they are picking off trees. The stone here is again a metal, but this time we're in Virgo, and it is white gold. White gold imparts purity, innocence, wisdom, intuition, emotional balance, clarity, creativity, positive transformation in life. This is a degree that I think could take on a couple of flavors. The cross on the landscape is, in this instance, discussed at length the crucifixion, meaning going through the dark time, allowing yourself to be cut open on the cross and letting the light come in. Sounds flowery, but painful at the same time. So a lot of healing is available on this degree, but also a lot of patience, a lot of trials, a lot of pain, dealing with pain and figuring out how to do it in the most effective way. Might have been a spillover from Virgo 1 here, but it happened on this degree, so I'm going to mention it because it's in my notes. I had a major opening in my third eye area. I was asleep or almost awake, and there was this raging storm outside, and it was one of those instances when the inner and the outer kind of came together, and all of a sudden I heard this 1, 2, 3, or like click, 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 and then boom, and it felt like it came out of my head. It was intense, and at the same time, the exact same time, I was in time with some huge lightning strike. Spiritual awakenings can happen here, and it might, like I said, it might have been Virgo 1 energy, but it's here in my notes, so I'm mentioning it. If you want to keep track of your notes that correspond with degrees in your chart, check out this book. The link is in the description. So we're talking about crucifixion. We're talking about white crosses. Healing. The table with many healings. So Virgo sometimes gets a bad rap because we notice everything. I have a lot of Virgo energy, P.S. So we're curious to the bone. We want to know everything. We want to learn. But at the root of all of it is we want to heal things. So this morning I woke up with a headache, and I don't do headaches. I usually don't get them, but when I do, it's like I have a low tolerance for headaches. So in meditation in the hot tub, I focused on it, and sometimes I think the pain that we get is there so that we do focus inward. And I did this beautiful meditation, and it just seemed to flow very easily. Healing can be attained easily on this degree once we get over the thought that we can't. It's one of those things. One of the backstories is an acupuncturist that makes adjustments just by holding the needle over someone's body. And so just by laying down and focusing on wherever, like with me, I had a headache like right here. You can focus your finger or your attention or a white pencil or whatever you have, and focus energy there and see it healed. Say, I'm giving you my attention. How can I heal you? You know, just try it. This degree is incredibly healing. But it can also be very trying. Patience, persistence, knowing that there is an end game and you're going to find it will get you there. But it may take quite a bit of time, quite a bit of focus. There's an incredible patience here. Right timing is available here, but it takes patience and focus and persistence. The more we repetitively do something like we meditate every day, wondering if it's working or not. When I first started meditating, I wish I could remember the gentleman that I was listening to at the time, because this was many years ago, probably 12 plus years ago. But one thing he said was, when you start meditating, at first you may fall asleep. That's okay, you just fall asleep. And the next time you're like, oh, nothing's happening. That's okay, just lay there and do it. And eventually something shifts and you start feeling it. And so it's one of those things that you go through the motions. You pretend that you're the virtuoso until you're the virtuoso. That is what's going on with this degree. And it can be put into practice with healing. Tables with healing, tables with fruit. Seeing fruit as medicine is going on here. And that we learn through going through things. If we think we can get to enlightenment without getting scraped knees and bruises, we're wrong. I also think there's a powerful ability to heal today, mainly because of where the North Node and Chiron are. And I'm not going to go off on that tangent because that's not what these symbols are about. But because we're here on this healing degree, things are going to come up, like me with a headache. You know, I'm like, oh, great, what does this mean? Well, just lean into it and let go of rationality. You know, if you're sick and you need to go to the doctor, you go to the doctor. But what I'm saying is, things may come up physically, emotionally, and they're coming up to be healed because of the Chiron North Node action that's going on. They're together. The wounded healer with the urge to do whatever it takes to get through something, like that uncontrollable, keep feeding the urge. They're together. But also with the sun here, this is some powerful juju that's available to all of us to heal ourselves. And with Virgo being a major healing degree, I feel like we're all going through this major purge because of the Jupiter-Chiron connection. So one thing I thought about today is that I'm going to focus my energy on healing in my meditation. I'm just going to make it a point of focus to see myself cleansed. And what I did today was I saw healing energy, because I took notes during the 12 days of Christmas. If you want to know what I'm talking about, check out this link. It's A Year in 12 Days. It's a book that I put together where it takes advantage of a window in time that gives us a glimpse into the future. Well, for February, I did have a headache. I did have an unusual reaction to the snow. I had some upset stomach, and those are things that don't normally happen to me. Anyway, I focused that day with snow quartz, and it did the trick. I made up my mind when I felt the sniffles and I felt the headache and I felt the upset. It's like, no, I'm not going to be queasy. I'm not going to be sick. And so I focused snow quartz in my aura. I saw it coming into my aura. So this morning, I did the same thing. I saw from the outside in, because it is easier to affect change if we start with a subtle body. So I started from the aura in, and I saw snow quartz, I saw white sapphire, I saw atacamite, I saw malachite, I saw labradorite. It's like whatever came to my mind, I threw it in the mix. And I saw it seeping in like water, seeping in through crevices, because you cannot escape it. It gets where it's going to go. And I saw it going into my body and healing everything. Not only just my mind, but my body, my liver, my entire system being healed. And it felt wonderful. It felt powerful. So if you're feeling a little off, like I said yesterday, left over, kind of stuck from the Leo Aquarius energy, try a meditation where you shake off, blow out the cobwebs. It's one of those kind of things. So I'm going to focus my meditation on healing in different ways, I'm sure, because it's always different. I always shift it. But we have some really powerful healing energy at our disposal. And on the other side of the coin, there's also, therefore, the ability to get really sick if we're not careful. If we focus in that direction, we're going there easily. And if we focus in on healing, I think we can easily heal and let go of old wounds, old memory wounds. We let them go, let them go, let them go. And we can be lighter going forward. So, powerful energy available here on Virgo 2. Let's take a look at Pisces 2. A squirrel hiding from hunters. From deep in the earth, the sound of a waterfall. A man turning into a werewolf. A mole sleeping cozily in its burrow. At a dinner, people enjoying what their gardens have produced. The crystal here is very interesting, very different from many that I've talked about. Psilomelane, release and renewal, cyclic elemental wisdom of death and rebirth, helps us connect to the void where pure source energy resides, so we can blend energy and element to evolve and birth new creations. It's an incubator for ideas, so energy can be focused and produce an evolved creation or concept. Evolve it. It treats lung issues. It regulates insulin levels. It helps release memory trauma. It helps us see ourselves more objectively. Interesting stone, a good one to meditate with. A need to protect ourselves. As we gather food and put it away, we store it for later. The squirrel hiding from hunters. So a need for protection here, and the rationale behind that is that we live in a world where each of us are told that we have to succeed, be an individual in a society where it's like no holds barred. You never know if you're going to be attacked or not. You never know if you're going to be safe or not. It's that kind of mentality. And when you think of it in terms of a squirrel, they have a lot of natural predators. The way that they have to go and find their food and store their food and keep it safe from someone trying to go get their food and not get killed at the same time. It's that type of feeling could be going on here. By connecting with our animal instinct, the man turning into a werewolf, we feel safe, we feel protected. I actually saw the face of what I initially thought was a lion, but it was a wolf. It was a wolf, and I saw it a couple times. So I looked up wolf symbolism just so we would have it here, especially when I saw the symbol, the werewolf. It is a protector, a guide. It instills loyalty, bravery, and it embraces transformation. So by giving into our animal instinct, knowing that we're always safe, we can draw on it if we need to, like a sword that is always there, can become the wolf and deal with business if you need to. It helps us maneuver through life easier. There's a deep need sometimes to just step back completely from society. The mole sleeping cozily in its burrow, just step back from society. Sometimes it's just too much. And we have to know when to pull back and when to go forward. If we embrace our animal instinct, we know we can be the mole that is covered in our protective burrow in the middle of a crowd and become invisible. So it's having that kind of camaraderie with our animal instinct is helpful on this degree. So a need for self-protection is key on this degree. Caution and self-protection. Because we're stepping into the pool of all that is Pisces, the sea, and the boundaries are not, there are no boundaries. There are never any boundaries, but especially it is apparent in Pisces. There's a need for self-protection. We cannot trust everyone. We can trust ourselves. We can trust our spirit guides. We can trust all that is, our wisdom, and that is what protects us here. So one of the keys here is to be a patient learner, listening to the world around, hearing the voice of spirit. So looking for signatures of spirit, listening for it. On this axis, there's a need to just trust yourself. You want to pretend to be a wolf today, you be a wolf. And do you, by trusting your own instincts and following them. We don't care what other people think. Not in a way where we're antisocial, but we understand that each of us has that need and that it's a give and take at any given time, but it's our job always to know that we are safe, know that we are always protected, and that we have this arsenal within us of healing and protection. We can go anywhere. So that's what I have for you today. Thank you so much for being here. New subscribers, longtime subscribers, I appreciate all of you. Leave a comment if these symbols are saying something strong to you, if they're strong in your birth chart and you'd like to give us some insight. Subscribe for more and take care till next time.